Hello, everyone. How are you? Hi. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. How is everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here again. Today I'm here on a Wednesday because tomorrow in the States is Thanksgiving, which is a big holiday. For most of us it's one of our favorite holidays because it's no gifts. It's kind of simple. We just get together for a nice meal and have fun and practice gratitude and appreciation. And that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today is remaining grateful while maintaining health and having fun, not just tomorrow, Thanksgiving, but this whole holiday season because it really kicks into gear the holidays and lots of social activities and parties and being out and challenging our diets and our lifestyle and our sleep and our alcohol intake, all of these things. So before we dive into that, I want to say thank you to Facebook, to all my followers here for always being a part of this community, and for all the newcomers, thank you so much for inviting me into your home regularly. And Instagram, same to you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your life and for you joining me here. We got lots of people rolling on. I love it. And you guys who are new to me, this is something I do every week. I come to you live on Facebook, usually on Thursdays at noon. And today we're doing Wednesday at noon because tomorrow I'll be cooking tomorrow. And I talk about different health topics, different ways for you to manage your health and your mental, emotional state so you can live your best life, so you can reawaken and renew hope and live your healthiest life. That is my mission in life, and I hope I help you do that, and I hope you also, can relate to me. I'm a normal human being. I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm always learning and evolving and trying to do my best. Just trying to show up for myself and my family and my friends in the best possible way I can. So there's that. And if you guys ever want to know more about me or ways you can work with me, head over to my website, amyraup.com. Check out one of my books. I have 3 of them. My most recent one is called Body Belief, all about how to heal your autoimmune diseases. I have a book called Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. And my first book is called Chill Out and Get Healthy. And that came out 9 years ago. No, 2000, when did it come out? 2010? 2009? 2009. 9 years ago. That's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, I've been doing this a long time. I'm an acupuncturist by trade. I've been practicing in the clinic for 15 years. It's 15 years next month, which is crazy town as well. And yeah, I love it. I love what I do. It's really fun. And hi, Jamie. Hi, Mandy. Angela loves all you guys, Elizabeth. So good to see everyone. Thank you, Courtney, Beth. Thank you guys. They're my team. I can't do it without them. So appreciate you guys so much. And so let's get into it. So I feel like lots of stuff come up this time of year for many people. The holidays are fun and exciting for a lot of people, but then they're also challenging, and they remind us of times before, the past, people maybe who have transitioned on to another part of, the universe, loved ones gone, right? That type of thing, relationships that have shifted. So it's always seems to be a time of reflection. If you guys are on my newsletter list, you'll see what I wrote about yesterday. I think our newsletter went out yesterday. And, just that November is a challenging month for me. It marks the anniversary of my father's passing. It's been 8 years, which is crazy. I can't even, believe it. And then also it's like November is a time when it's coming towards the end of the year, and we begin to reflect and like, did we achieve everything we wanted to achieve this year? Did we not? Are we where we expected to be in our lives? My husband's dealing with some of that, not to overshare his stuff, but, just like looking back and like, am I where I'm supposed to be? And I have the same thing too. I'm much more at peace now, but there were many years where I wasn't where I wanted to be, and I had a sense of sadness about it and a sense of like despair. And this type of time of year can bring that up too, right? And so, and then we're also supposed to have our happy face on and be grateful and be thankful, right? Thanksgiving is all about gratitude, and the holidays is all about cheer and joy and festivities. And some of us might feel lonely, even if we're in a relationship. Some of us might feel sad because we don't have everything we've desired or everything we thought we'd have at this point. So it's a challenging time because we're really trying to put on our be present, happy face, and also manage. And then we're around family, which some of us try to avoid. I love my family. I'm lucky, but it's also that's always been a work in progress. And so, it just brings up a lot of stuff. So how to remain healthy and sane in the holiday season, and then also like how to stick to your diet when Thanksgiving is like pumpkin pie and I don't know, twice baked potatoes with loaded cheese and I don't know, good stuff, really good stuff. So I feel like I was thinking before as I was getting ready, about a couple things. And I think the most important thing that I feel like we should all just own and honor is ourselves. Listening to ourselves, reconnecting to ourselves. So that comes to, from the emotional space to the physical space and to the, nutritional space of if we stay connected to ourselves, if we stay connected to how am I feeling, how does this make me feel, where am I coming from, right? So it's like, I think this is the time of year that people tend to drink a lot more, right? And they tend to use food and alcohol and whatever else to kind of numb out a little bit because the feelings can be really intense. And so rather than choosing that, to sit back and ask yourself, like, how am I feeling and why am I feeling this way and what would make me feel better versus, just the mindless eating that I feel like I see a lot of people do. I myself can do it too, where it's like we're just kind of trying to numb and fill a void, right? Alcohol is another great way that people do that. So if we're in a space of being connected, if we're in a space of honoring, and perhaps it's a ritual that you do, maybe before you see your family tomorrow, where am I at this time this year versus last year? The things that I have achieved that I'm proud of and the things that I'm still working on, right? And practice gratitude for where you are at right here, right now. What are the things in my life right here, right now that bring me joy? And then what are the things in my life right here, right now that are hanging on me, that are making me feel heavy, that are making me feel sad? And how can I come to peace with that? How can I come to terms with that? One thing I talked about in the newsletter yesterday is that, a new mantra that I've adopted that I learned from someone else, it's not mine, is that I'm reminding myself every day, I'm journaling every day, I'm writing it at least 3 times. I am deeply loved and cared for. I am deeply loved and cared for. And then if I'm carrying burdens for someone else, like someone in my family or a friend that I'm worried about or a relationship that's challenged that I feel like I need to fix or explain myself in, rather than focus on the fixing, because I feel like that's a heavy burden to put on ourselves and it's not our job to fix anyone, I will write out that person's name. And I do it for my husband. Kenny is deeply loved and cared for. Kenny is deeply loved and cared for. And that reminds me that it is not my job. I don't need to fix. I don't need to be all things to all people. I just need to know that universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is loving and caring for me. My father, who's on the other side, is loving and caring for me, right? And then same thing for my husband. There's a whole slew of people that love and care for him. I'm one of them. There's a whole spirit, universal power that loves and cares for him. He is protected. He is being guided. I am protected. I am being guided. I need to trust in that process and practice the gratitude for that. I feel like this time of year, for some reason, really amplifies these things because it's again like that reflection where I was 5 Thanksgivings ago in comparison to where I am now, right? And what I thought I would achieve by 40 and 45 or 30, 35, whatever it is, there's this heaviness. And so to just trust and hand that over. I am deeply loved and cared for. I am being guided. I am being supported. I am in the right place at the right time, all of the time. Things are always working out for me, as my teacher Abraham would say. So that is, in my opinion, a key, here. So through reconnecting to ourselves and listening to how we're feeling and where we're at, that's when we can begin to understand, like, oh, I feel stressed because I'm going to see my family tomorrow and they're going to ask me all these questions and I might not have the answers and I'm not exactly where I thought I was going to be, or I'm stressed because I have to see this one person and that relationship really challenges me, or I'm stressed because I'm going to be in an environment where I can't control the food and I'm really trying to stick to my diet. And I am deeply loved and cared for. That's your mantra that you say to yourself. I am deeply loved and cared for. And someone you're worried about in your family, or you're worried about your approval from them or of them, they are deeply loved and cared for, right? They are where they're supposed to be. I am where I'm supposed to be. So reconnecting to yourself in a way that's very calming and loving and peaceful is a super great way to approach the holidays and to approach Thanksgiving. And then to also find, I think it's all of us. You could do it right now in your head. You could write it down if you want, but like 3 things that you are grateful for about you. 3 things you appreciate about yourself that you've learned about yourself this past year. And so you might not necessarily have achieved this thing that you want, but what have you learned? How have you grown? How have you shifted? What are the things you're proud of? The decisions that you have made that you are proud of? And they could be really simple and they could be really big, but less about the stuff and the things, more about us and your expansion as a human being, as a soul here on earth, as a person who's important to the world and needs to be here. What have you learned about yourself? And what could you say that you're grateful for? What can you say that you appreciate? Focusing on that is key. And from that space, then we're a little more open, we're a little more in touch, we're less defensive. So we enter into maybe a family meeting, or a day that's full of a lot of things and emotions, in a space that's just more calm and at peace. And then from there, we are less likely to ruin our diet. We are less likely to overdrink and overeat because we're connected. We know how we feel. We want to stay present. We want to stay aware, right? And then, here's another little caveat. When we don't listen to how we feel, when we don't honor it and we ignore it and then we overeat or we overdrink, 90% of the time you wake up the next day and you feel guilty. You feel really bad about it and you beat yourself up over it. And as Abraham, my teacher, says, and I love how she says this, if you eat something and feel really bad about it, it's worse for you than if you eat something and feel really good about it. And if you drink from a place of being high on life and in the state of gratitude and appreciation, and you have that drink to celebrate that gratitude and appreciation, that's good for you. If you are sad and depressed, or you don't want to be where you're at, or you don't want to talk to certain people and you're drinking to just numb out, not so good for you. Brings you down. You're going to feel really guilty about it the next day. So the conscious awareness, the reconnectedness, like I talk about in Body Belief, how to reconnect to ourselves, that when we bring that to our game, to our food choices and to our lifestyle choices, we then feel a sense of ownership, a sense of present moment awareness, a sense of consciousness, conscious decisions about what we are choosing to eat or not eat, to drink or not drink, to say, to not say, to be affected, to not be affected, to not take things personally, to have healthy boundaries. All of these things come from this very solid, proud consciousness. And from there, then we don't feel guilty. We don't wake up the next day and like, oh, I got to go to the gym and burn off all the calories of the pumpkin pie that I overate yesterday, and now I feel guilty about it. I'm going to beat myself up about it for the next week. Let's not do that to ourselves this year, guys. Let's not. Let's just not do that. Let's be conscious. Let's be aware. Let's be reconnected, connected to ourselves. Listen, be mindful, and live and make choices from that space. I know all the e-course, so I have my Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course, and I just did office hours in that group. Then I quickly ran upstairs and put on some makeup and changed and washed my face and did some stuff. And now you guys are seeing me not in my PJs like they did about an hour ago. And yeah, I'm so grateful for all of you ladies on here. I'm so grateful for everybody who's tuning in, but I see so many, as Beth just mentioned, so many of our e-course girls on here right now. And, I think this is a really big thing for all of us too. It's like these measurements that we do of like where we were this time last year or 8 years ago, right? And this year, I had some of it, this year because we don't have a very big Thanksgiving. It's just me and, my brother and his kids and his family. And, I was reminiscing about Thanksgivings before. I might even get emotional. And I was feeling a little sorry for myself. I was like, oh God, things have changed so much. Family has changed so much. Like, what's wrong? Why don't people want to come to my house and celebrate with us? Like this little like, wah, wah, I feel sorry for myself. And then I also, step back and it's like, well, my husband and I have had a big year, and last couple months have been, in a good way, lots of growth and transformation for us. And we had decided we wanted to keep the holidays quiet. We wanted to just kind of keep it sacred and quiet, but either way, even though I was honoring that, and we made this conscious decision to stay at home, to be low key, to, just keep it really simple. Then I got worked up and I started comparing to times in the past and to the what you see in the magazines and on the, Instagram and social media, that people have this huge table of all these people and all this fun and loved ones. And I was kind of just feeling like left out, comparison is the root of all suffering. That's what Buddha says. And I think a lot of us will experience that. And it's rather to step back and really stay connected and the trusting of, that can be there if that's what you want. But, I also trust that what's unfolding is exactly what's right. So to stay in that space. And then another thing about the food is, I talked about the guilt. I don't want us to have guilt and beat ourselves up. I also want us to realize Thanksgiving is one day out of the year. Eat what you want to eat. Don't beat yourself up over it. If you have an allergy to certain foods, don't eat them, obviously. And I know a lot of my girls that are following me, that are trying to conceive, and they're following my diet, and they're strict in their plans, and they're not eating gluten, and they're not eating dairy, and they're not eating much sugar and all that. Again, if you guys want to have some treats tomorrow or indulge a little bit or not worry so much about ingredients and whose food is being cooked and is it organic and is it grass-fed, and be mindful, be conscious, don't beat yourself up. As you eat, as you take every bite, practice gratitude for the food, gratitude for the cooking, gratitude for the company. And know that that food will nourish you. And know that it's also one day. It is not going to set you back. Only if you choose it to. Only if you feel guilty will it set you back, okay? So it is one day. Enjoy yourself. And if you're really concerned about quality of food and what's going to be served, bring something. Offer to make something that you can eat. Pre-eat. I think that's a really good tip. Eat before you go so you're not super hungry or ravenous. And then pick and choose. I'll pick around things. Like if there's a cheese plate with meat on it, I'll just probably eat the meat, maybe I'll have a little slice of cheese because, I don't have an autoimmune disease and I can have some dairy. I don't feel great on dairy, but I can have some of it. So I might have some dairy. Maybe I'll bring my own gluten-free crackers, right? Or maybe I'll just skip the crackers altogether. If there's like a dip of some sort, I'll probably skip it. Maybe if there's a crudité, I'll just have the vegetables, even though they're raw, right? I don't eat a lot of raw vegetables, but it's fine if I have it that day. The turkey, I'm going to eat it. I got a pasture-raised bird, but that's just because I'm the host and I'm cooking and I control the ingredients. But if I were going to someone else's house, I would still eat the turkey, even if it wasn't pasture-raised. And I know it's not going to kill me, and I would enjoy it. I would enjoy it. And maybe I'd pick around certain things and just try to stick with, veggies and, good quality protein. But I also will let myself have fun. Maybe I would eat the pumpkin pie on the inside and not eat the crust because the gluten doesn't really agree with me. Again, I don't have an allergy, right? So I might pick and choose, but I'm not going to feel guilty about it. And I'm not going to overeat. I'm going to stay conscious and mindful. How do I feel right now? How am I gonna feel tomorrow after knowing I ate this? So making the decision from this space of how do I feel now and how am I gonna feel in 24 hours from now about this decision? And obviously too, the less you drink, the more conscious, the more mindful, the more aware you will be. It's not to say you don't enjoy yourself. Have a drink or two if that's what feels good to you. See, I just love eating the pumpkin and not the crust. I know, me too. That's how I am. I love it. My mom got a pumpkin pie and I'm excited. I'm sure she got it at like Whole Foods. I'm sure it's organic ingredients because she knows her daughter, but it's probably not gluten-free. And that's okay. Everyone's gonna live, right? I'm making my own loaf of homemade sourdough bread, and I will have some tomorrow because I'm gonna want some bread. But so I'm controlling the environment. I'm making the bread. Not everyone can do that, but that's what I'm doing. So I think the pre-eating, I think eating around things, not feeling guilty, and remember why you're there. Oh, and eat greens. Eat lots of vegetables. Even if they're not organic, fill yourself up on the veggies, okay? Eat the greens. Maybe not the cream spinach, but eat the greens, right? Okay? And if you want to have some cream spinach, have some freaking cream spinach. Don't beat yourself up over it, though. Be conscious, be aware. If you're going to eat something that isn't typically on your diet, this is the rule of thumb. Love every single second of it. Every single bite, you're going to love it. You're going to be grateful for. You're going to appreciate it. That's how you avoid the guilt. In this moment, this feels like a good choice. In this moment, this feels good. And 24 hours from now, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm not going to ruin my fertility or my health by deviating from a plan for one day, especially if I'm eating from a place of mindfulness, of guilt-free, of joy, of love, especially if I'm enjoying my environment and I'm connected to myself and I feel present, I feel aware, I feel grateful, I feel appreciative. It's not going to ruin your whole plan, okay? So pre-eating, having fun, being conscious, being mindful, eat lots of vegetables, just have a good time. And go into whatever it is in this holiday season connected to yourself. Have that list of gratitude so you can see it. Read it every day. Appreciate how far you have come in a year. Appreciate the changes that you have witnessed in yourself. Maybe don't beat yourself up about the things you haven't acquired, the things, the money, the people, the relationships, the children. Rather, the things you have learned about yourself, the new tribe you're surrounding yourself with, the new decisions that you're making. That's the place. Come from that place. Be connected. Be rooted in your soul and in your heart. And from there, it'll be easy. And have lots of love and compassion. Know that everyone is doing the best they can from their level of consciousness. So you send them love. And you say a little prayer to them or whatever it is, bless them. Hand it over. They are deeply loved and cared for, as are you. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to control them. You don't have to seek their approval. You don't have to care if they like you or if they don't. They are deeply loved and cared for, and so are you. Okay, and with that, I'm going to go because I think there's a little person that's going to break down the door any second. And, just know that I am so grateful and appreciative for all of you guys, and I appreciate your presence in my life, and may we be together for a long time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday. I'll see you guys next week. Ta-ta for now. Bye, guys.